Welcome back to Loving Honestly. Today I'm talking about self-reflection, a process I learned a couple of years ago through listening to the late Dr. Wayne Dyer's audiobooks. That process has really helped me to get unstuck in the things that now continue to manifest in my life that I didn't realize were a result of things that happened to me in the past. My name is Risine, and Loving Honestly is a place for every woman with a deep need to reclaim your love story in the way that feels right for you. Now, why is it important to self-reflect? Well, I found that it is so important to do a reflection on your past, to understand why the things that happened to you in your past can affect you now and stop you from living the life you deserve to live. I started to realize this quite a while back, but it started to manifest for me specifically when my two older children started to become teenagers, and I was struggling so much to get to a place of control and authority over them. I was struggling to adjust to the transition from the little ones who used to love me so to the twins and teens who now started to challenge me and tell me that my thoughts were not important to them, that they had other peers that they were looking up to, and that I didn't understand them anymore. And as much as this is a normal thing for all parents, I mean, my mom went through this. All parents go through this transition and trying to figure out your place in relation to your children. But for me, it was so deep-seated, I didn't realize that for me, it was a matter of, I've always been the mom who wants to give everything to the kids, give them a space to flourish and thrive and nurture and take it easy on my children. But at some point, it started to dig into a lot of my insecurities, a lot of the things that I never had dealt with as a child, as a teenager myself, as a young adult, and now as a mom of teenagers. I was stuck, and I had to really go back to a place in my heart, in my thought process, where I started to go back chronologically from when I was little, the way I communicated with my mother, the way I had a relationship with my siblings. And I couldn't really find anything there until I started to really dig deep to the way I reacted to certain situations. It was about me, because the people in your life will only give you what they are used to, what they know, the pattern that has been set in the house. But it's up to how you respond to what they give you. And in that response, I realized that I was a person who ran away from fearful situations, from controlling situations myself, and I shut down. And in shutting down, I started to look for opportunities to thrive. And in the thriving is where I'm good at. I am good at accepting outcomes. I am good at enjoying peace in relationships and building community and building friendships that thrive. What I'm not good at is dealing with conflict. And when I started to unpack that part of myself, I realized, wow, this is where I've been stuck. And I started to realize how it got me stuck even when I was in college, even when I got a job, even when I got married, even with my friendships. I am very comfortable when I am in a space where everyone is together and everyone is thriving and I'm building something. I am so uncomfortable with dealing with real issues. And then I realized that is my weakness. I fear conflict. I fear challenging. I fear putting my foot down and going through that situation. I fear losing people. So self-reflection for me started there. And once I started to do that process and actually started to understand what it meant to me, even my spirituality grew. And my process of meditation, my process of really sitting with my thoughts, letting them take me over, and actually understanding that this pain is a pain I've carried for a very long time, helped me to start to release it little by little. One thing I've realized about emotions, and I am a person who's very emotionally expressive, is they come. And the same feeling that I felt then, a couple of years ago, the same feeling I felt all those years before then, is the same feeling that continues to come now. But I'm much more comfortable with it, and I have accepted, and I know what it means to me now. I know what it means to me in my current state and what it is trying to tell me. The fact that that emotion keeps coming back and keeps sitting at the root, at the base of, and I feel it, I know where I feel it in my chest, at the base of my belly. It's fine. It is just something that is telling me that this situation is similar to what you've been through before, but you can do this. You just have to now hone in on the fact that you are in a conflict state. You are in a place where you're not in agreement with someone. So which means now you have to kick in the strongs we see. You have to kick in that girl who can deal with this and not shy away from what it will bring up, even if what that will bring up is something that's not good for me. It's all right. Let's deal, let's rumble and tumble, let's fight. But let's be respectful, let's be humble, let's understand what the root of the issue is and get to that place. So for me, understanding that made me realize that I will continue to have these emotional turbulent moments, especially when I'm in situations similar to what I was going through. And when I get there, I have to understand that I need to learn from the past experiences and know that this is what I need to do. So now in all other relationships, and I hope this helps someone out there, because what I know is when you do not deal with something, when you do not uncover something from your past, no matter how painful it is, it will continue to manifest in different ways. With a different person, it could be your romantic partner, it could be your best friend, it could be your co-worker, it could be your boss, it could be your child, it's anybody. And that thing will keep coming and manifesting in a different way until you actually learn how to deal with it. And once you learn how to deal with it, it's not that it goes away. The emotion or the experience or the problem, the way of looking at it that you've had goes away. No, it's just that you get better at it and you get to understand that it is a cue for you to find a place in your heart, in your mind, in your process to deal with it better. And once you get there, you're free. You're free to actually accept that I will have another incident like this, but I will know how to deal with it now. And I will know that I may cry. It may still bring back the fact that I had a bad incident when I was a child. And one thing about self-reflection is when you start to do it, you will remember the most impactful moments in your life. Those things that made you feel so bad that you question what it is it all for? And doing it regularly means you begin to hone the skill. You begin to actually master the art of preempting things in the future. And when you do that, you can say, I am going for an event where my best friend who hurt me did this, right? And I'm going to meet them there. So what does that mean? It means I preempt the actual conversation that may happen. I preempt the actual memories and feelings that might come up, my anger, my seething anger that is still there because they've not apologized or they didn't apologize in the way that I wanted them to. And I choose either not to attend or I choose to attend knowing how I've played it out in my head. Isn't that much better to be able to actually preempt situations? You're not going to preempt everything in your life. But once you start to do this on a regular, every couple of months, every month, every other day, until you get the skill in you, it becomes a habit. You are able to walk into any situation and know what to expect. And even that doesn't happen, at least you are prepared. Because you are prepared with your armor, you have actually been training yourself. You've been training your mind, you've been training your body, you've been training, your spirit is in a place of flow that you can say, you know what, I can deal with anything. And if you can't, you can just take a break and ask to take it easy. And I find that makes you become more self-aware. So doing this, since for me, actively, I've been doing this, I guess, for the past 5 years. And I can tell you for sure that it is one of my superpowers. I can literally think about a situation that may happen with my now late teens, who are now, in a space where we can communicate and talk. And I now no longer get so riled up and so emotionally unable to actually have a discussion with my own child that is beneficial to them and me. And now I'm not there anymore. I know that I still have that place of me that dislikes confrontation. But I now know that even if I do dislike it anyway, I'm going to do it because it's good for me, it's good for my child. Because I will do my child a disservice if I do not parent them sometimes in an aggressive manner. If I do not parent them in sometimes a manner in which I have to use tough love. Because that's what mothers are there for, that's what fathers are there for. We must do those things. So I had to get over myself and my insecurities and wake up to the fact that I have to put on a new armor. I have to put on the big girl pants, the big mom pants, and say, you know what? This is the new me. This is the life that I need to live, and I need to become more powerful to do so. And building that has released me of such hurt and pain. And I've been able to now start using the same principles in uncovering, especially the situations you know. You may have 3, you may have 10, you may have 100 of those situations in your past that really left a dent in your head that you can never let go of them, because every time you replay it, it's just as if it happened just yesterday. And when you start to put things into pockets, you remember the time when you were 10 years old and this happened to you. You remember the time when you were 16 years old and this boy broke your heart in a way that you never thought you could be this girl who this could happen to you. You remember when you were 25 years old and the job you wanted to get, you didn't get. And you remember things with regret. Some things you remember with heartache, some things you remember with grief. And you start to actually open up that little page in your book, that chapter, and read it out again from the day it happened to the day it ended. And start to uncover the lessons you needed to have learned, to uncover where it went wrong for you, how you narrated it for yourself at the time, how you handled it at the time, how you came out of it. And then you can now start to say, oh, that's what happened, and that's where I messed up. Or that's where that person did this thing to me and I felt this way. And that's where I could have done this, but I didn't. But it is all in the wake of time past. And we cannot do anything about changing that. However, we can learn from it and really actually open that book again. Reread it as it was. And start to know, to add in the chapter of what I could have done. Perhaps what I needed to have learned, and what I need to now do so that I do not get caught up in those spaces again. I can talk about self-reflection all day because it's so poignant and so important to me, and it has helped me to start to be free to live the life in the now, because half the time we live a life in the space of the past pains that we had, of the past triumphs that we had. And now we need to let go and say, you know what, those are wonderful memories that I've made, and they're in my book, and I'm in this chapter now where I'm writing my story. But this story I'm going to write with eyes wide open, with a mind that is open to expressing, to a body that can walk and do things and be in a state of flow with everything that is happening around me, because I can preempt, I can plan, I can be in this moment because I'm free. I have let go of anything that may have held me back. And sometimes you may not get through everything, because certain new situations will make you have to deal with things again, but you're ready. You're ready to sit, to cry, to scream, to laugh, to pray, to do whatever you need to do to come out of that state. And I really appreciate how that introspection and reworking your story in a new way now. The perspective changes slightly because now you're empowered, you're free. You own the process that happened to you entirely. And you know that people did what they did with the knowledge that they had. And sometimes people were just cruel. There's nothing I can do about that. That's what happened. And I have to appreciate that and accept that and forgive myself and forgive them so that I can move forward. So reflect, reflect, reflect. Try it. Try thinking about a situation that happened to you in the past and sit with it. I know it may be difficult, but that is life. Life is not meant to be easy after all. We are in a space where we are living human beings here on earth, and earth has a lot of things that are good and a lot of things that are bad, and we participate in both. So why not just relook at it? And it goes for both ways. I'm not just talking about bad situations, even the negative, the good situations as well. Go through them. Go through the whole story. Retell your story, and then now change it to suit the understanding you now have. You cannot change the past, but you can change the way you looked at it and find the goodness in every situation. Trust me, doing self-reflection will change your life. It will give you peace where once you felt shattered. It will give you peace where once you didn't know how to handle any new situation and you feared going into new spaces. Yes, your emotions will keep coming up, and that's normal. That's part of life. We are people with an emotional muscle, and we must continue to use it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I post weekly every Wednesday. Subscribe if you'd like to get notifications on new videos that I post, and let's continue to love honestly together. Take care.